Rachel Notley, she expressed her intention to retire as the NDP leader on January 16th. And since then, the race to replace her has been pretty dull. I mean, there's been 4 NDP MLAs now enter the race, and they've been lobbing softballs at each other and pretty much running lackluster campaigns to date. They haven't been capturing the excitement or really even the casual interest of Albertans. So for political wonk, I like interesting races. And this has all changed, ironically, due to 2 men who haven't even formally entered the race yet. Both former Calgary Mayor Naheed Nenshi and Alberta Federation of Labour Gil McGowan have expressed their interest now in pursuing the NDP leadership, and the fireworks are sure to follow. I mean, Nenshi and McGowan, they have much in common in that they both have thin skins and inflated egos. They also have some very serious differences, as McGowan's an in-your-face type of old-school union-pushing socialist, while Nenshi's more of a pragmatic type of leftist. He's going to pander to an assortment of groups to try and gain and maintain power. Now, Nenshi is clearly giving the leadership serious consideration as he suddenly appeared giving fire and brimstone type speeches at leftist rallies. He hasn't denied his interest in the job and has been painting himself as something of a savior for the NDP, and he could bring their party back into prominence, he says. Legacy media outlets, of course, are dutifully giving Nenshi more coverage suddenly with interviews and polls, and there's even a story in the state broadcaster showing his favorite list of books last week. Yes, they certainly come around for Mr. Nenshi fast, don't they? Gil McGowan now, he's been entrenched in the NDP for decades, and he's less than pleased with the prospect of an outsider suddenly appearing on the scene, telling his party it needs to be saved from itself. So he's decided to throw his hat in the ring. McGowan has kicked off his campaign by taking shots at Stephen Carter, who's long been a compatriot of Naheed Nenshi, and in saying his campaign will not be run by party insiders, these are Gil's words, or self-styled strategy gurus with podcasts who too often look down their noses at ordinary working people and who've never actually run for office themselves. Yes, the shots have already been fired. Gil's going after Carter. I'm sure they'll start shooting back soon. Now, McGowan, he's an abrasive sort of brute who's known for verbally assailing media members with profanity-laden rants as he tries to block cameras with his middle finger. He's styling himself as being a worker who could lead a workers' party. He'd love to bring union, thuggery, and intimidation to the prominence it used to enjoy decades ago. He wants to be a modern-day Joe Hill who'll inspire people to bring oppressive capitalists to heel. Nenshi? He's more an opportunist, willing to wear whatever cloak it takes to win. The Alberta Party was his first political choice of vehicle, but his unexpected mayoral win in Calgary put a halt to his provincial ambitions. So since leaving the top job in Calgary, Nenshi's been biding his political time to see where to go next. Since there's little indication Trudeau's leaving the federal job anytime soon, Naheed's turned his eye to the opening at the helm of the NDP. Now, McGowan, he has enough union support to potentially win the NDP leadership, but a loose cannon like him isn't going to win the premiership in a general election. Nenshi, on the other hand, he could bring in new members and he might win over pragmatic existing members and might win the NDP leadership, and could conceivably garner more Calgary support for the party, which would be interesting. But it would cause a lot of division among the party loyal, wouldn't it? Both Nenshi and McGowan have already fostered some division with the NDP. As, of course, they burst upon the scene and pushed aside 4 women who've put in their time as party MLAs. And basically what they're saying is, step aside, girls. It's time for the men to take charge and get things back in order. The feminist wing of the NDP can't be amused. I'm sure Nenshi will close his eyes, look at the ceiling, and explain more clearly to them why they need to embrace his guidance. Maybe he'll tell them to calm down. That always works. The NDP members, we're going to have a tough choice to make. Should they go with the unelectable McGowan, who would keep the party true to its roots, or should they accept some personal compromise and choose a party outsider like Nenshi to try and win the next election? The race has become interesting, and the future of the NDP is on the line. The Nenshi-McGowan battle won't do the party or Albertans really any favors, but it will offer us some fantastic political drama to observe. I'm looking forward to watching it, kind of like that morbid fascination akin to a kid who just put a couple of bugs into a jar and wants to see them fight. I'll try and give it a little shake now and then when I can. I don't really care who wins. I just want to see how low they're going to go in trying. So the NDP race, which I was indifferent to, has finally become exciting, and I'm looking forward to covering it with all of the zeal I just showed now.